Welcome to our tutorial on how to do stoichiometry for gram to mole conversions and then also for gram to gram conversions. Now, we went ahead and worked through this example question in class. I believe in my 7th hour we were able to get through this one as well. So if you were in my 5th hour and you just saw the first one, I'll give you a moment to go ahead. You can feel free to pause this and check out our example that you can work through on your own. But what we're going to do is we're going to work through this second one here together. Now, anytime we're looking at one of these questions, we do need to make sure that we have a clear vision of what we're starting with and what we're ending with. So here, our starting point for this reaction right here is going to be 3.75 grams of NH3. Now, if we look at this here, this 3.75 grams, that has a number associated with it. So that's how we know that we're going to be starting with this here. So we're going to be trying to get to moles of oxygen. So we're going to be starting with this, and we're going to be trying to get here. Now, basically, since we have two different substances here, we have NH3 or ammonia, and we have oxygen. Let's actually draw a little bit of a diagram showing what we're starting with and what we're ending with here. So we're starting here with 4 moles of NH3, and we're going to be trying to get to oxygen here. So moles of oxygen. Now, we can't just go straight from 3.75 grams of NH3 to moles of oxygen. First, whenever we're trying to get from one substance to another, whenever we're trying to change substances in our chemical reaction, we're always going to need to change substances through a mole conversion. I like to call it the mole bridge. Okay? So, let's go ahead and write out what we're starting with. So we've got 3.75 grams of NH3. Okay. So if we know that we have 3.75 grams of NH3, what's going to go down here then? What's going to be our unit? That's right. It's going to be grams of NH3. Note how we need both the unit and the substance. So if we've got grams of NH3 down below, our conversion factor is we're trying to get to moles of NH3. So we're going to have moles of NH3 up top. No matter what, in any of these questions, you're always going to need to convert to moles. That's always going to be your first step. Okay, so now if this is our molar conversion here, we're going to have 1 mole set to whatever the mass is of NH3. So we have to figure out what the mass is of NH3. So where might we find that? You guessed it, the periodic table. So NH3 has 1 nitrogen and it has 3 hydrogens. So if we look really closely there, nitrogen is going to have a mass of 14.01. So if we have 1 nitrogen, we've got 14.01 plus 3 hydrogen. So now we need to look at hydrogen here. So it's 1.01 if we round it 2 decimal places. So we've got 3 of those though. So it's going to be 1.01 times 3, close parenthesis. So the overall mass of 1 mole of NH3 is going to be 17.04 grams. So that's what we plug in right here. 17.04 grams. Okay, so now we're at moles of NH3. So what we need to do now is we need to convert from moles of NH3. And again, whatever unit you have up here needs to be the same one that you have down here. And now we're going to go through our mole bridge to moles of oxygen. Okay, so ponder to yourself for a second where we might get these numbers from. Hint, hint, it is not automatically going to be 1. So if we look there, these numbers are going to come from our balanced equation. So for NH3, we have a 4. For oxygen, we have a 5. Okay. So now let's do a last minute check. Are we at our final unit here? Absolutely. We're at 5 moles of O2. Okay, so that's what we were trying to get to. We were trying to get to moles of O2. So now when we're trying to solve for this here, we're just going to plug everything in there together. So we've got 3.75 times 1 times 5 divided by 17.04 times 4. So let me show you what that'll look like on our calculator here. So we've got 3.75 times 1 times 5. Okay, so that's our total for the top. And then we're going to divide by everything that's on the bottom. Now we need to put everything that's on the bottom in parentheses here. Okay, so we've got 17.04 times 4. Okay, so that's going to give us an answer of 0.28 if we round to 2 decimal places. 0.28, and that's going to be moles of O2. So all of these questions are going to follow that exact same procedure. So for example, for this next one, we're starting with 7.45 grams of oxygen, and we're trying to get to moles. So each of our processes are going to be the exact same here. Now, if you notice, we're always going from grams to moles here. So on the back side, we're going to go ahead and check out how we can convert from grams to grams next.